Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 28th of March. Death toll climbs to at least 5 in building collapse in southern India. Afghan poll body announces final results of elections for 5 provinces. And Holi celebrations begin in India's Prayagraj with hammer procession. And now for all the details. Death toll climbed to at least 5 on Wednesday in a building collapse which happened on Tuesday evening in Dharwad district of India's southern Karnataka province. Meanwhile, rescue operations continued and officials said that more than 50 persons who were trapped after the under-construction shopping complex caved in had been dug out.
Death toll rose to at least 5 on Wednesday in a building collapse in Dharwad district of India's southern Karnataka province. India's National Disaster Response Force meanwhile dug out at least 52 trapped people after the under-construction shopping complex caved in on Tuesday evening. Meanwhile, rescuers continued their operations to find out more survivors till the last reports came in. The injured are undergoing treatment at a nearby hospital, officials said.
And government will not leave any stone unturned in the rescue operations and also the assistance. The government, the district administration has taken immediate action in putting the services of all the concerned to rescue the situation.
According to local media reports, the building was under construction for the past 2 years. There is no official confirmation yet on the reason behind the collapse. Building collapses in India are common, aggravated by the use of poor building materials, substandard maintenance practices, and unprofessional work skills.
Moving on, American scholar Christine Fair, during an event in Geneva, recently said that the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a geostrategic project for China to strengthen its own military prowess. She categorically questioned the repercussions of the project, which activists have long blamed is illegal and is a death call for indigenous people in Balochistan and Gilgit-Baltistan.
American scholar Christine Fair recently said that the multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC, is a geostrategic asset for China to strengthen its own military prowess, and Pakistan will collude with the Chinese to kill every Baloch to make Balochistan and its resources safe for Chinese exploitation. Speaking during an event on the sidelines of UNHRC's session in Geneva, Fair categorically questioned the repercussions of the CPEC project in Pakistan, which has witnessed a rise in human rights violations since its launch. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor has China investing over $60 billion. The corridor reaches out from Xinjiang to Gwadar port in Pakistan-Balochistan province. Activists have long blamed the security forces have been given a free hand to eliminate voices against this project.
If you look at the map, you bring stuff into Gwadar, it has to move to Karachi, and then it has to go north. So why not simply move things to Karachi, right? It doesn't make any sense economically. And so scholars like myself, we think that this is really geostrategic, right? This is about the Chinese being able to get a military hold at Gwadar.
Activists have long blamed that CPEC is illegal and that the indigenous people of Balochistan and Gilgit-Baltistan, from where it passes, have been stripped away of their natural resources. They claim the CPEC project has only brought death and destruction for the local people instead of economic opportunities, and accuse those who have opposed it have been subject to torture and violent crackdowns.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan's Independent Election Commission on Tuesday announced the final results of the parliamentary polls for 5 provinces held last year. Announcing the results, the poll body said the results of the remaining provinces will be announced within the next few days. The Independent Election Commission, or IEC, of Afghanistan on Tuesday announced the final results of parliamentary elections for 5 provinces including Ghor, Balkh, Paktia, Herat and Baghdis province. The announcement came 2 weeks after the new commissioners were sworn in to lead the poll body following the dismissal of former officials over allegations of fraud and widespread irregularities in last year's parliamentary polls. Announcing the results, the new IEC chairperson Hawa Alam Nuristani said the results of the remaining provinces will be announced within the next few days. So far, the IEC has announced the results of the parliamentary elections for 22 provinces out of 34. Parliamentary elections in Afghanistan were held last year on October 20th. The poll body had to face strong criticism recently over poor management and delay in announcing the results. The former officials were dismissed over mounting pressure for systematic reforms. More news from Afghanistan. Afghanistan's presidential candidate General Nurul Haq Ulumi has warned to resist any kind of fraud and irregularities in the upcoming presidential elections in the country. The former Interior Minister said he strongly opposed the idea of the establishment of an interim government in Afghanistan, adding that peace with the insurgents should be sealed alongside the present system.
Presidential candidate and Afghanistan's former Interior Minister General Nurul Haq Ulumi on Tuesday warned to resist any kind of fraud and irregularities in the upcoming presidential elections scheduled for July 20th. Ulumi said that he strongly opposes the idea of the establishment of an interim government in Afghanistan, adding that peace with the insurgents should be sealed alongside the present system. He said the governments which were ruling the country before the takeover by the Mujahideen were not involved in any kind of corruption, and those serving in high-level government positions were abiding by the laws of the country.
ما از یک دوران دیگه هستیم کل میگیم که نه تعصب قومی داشتیم نه مذهبی داشتیم نه سمتی داشتیم اما دیروزم رفیق میگفتیم نمیشناختیم کی از کجاست.
Ulumi had earlier vowed to closely monitor activities of the poll body with the help of his team. He leads a newly established political party, Jabhat-e-Milli Mardum-e Afghanistan, or Afghanistan People's National Front. In the year 2005, Ulumi was a lawmaker from Kandahar province, and he also served as Minister of Interior for almost 1 year in 2005.
In news from Bangladesh, Rohingya children in Bangladeshi camps are struggling to study, especially after the government issued letters to local schools banning their attendance. But some are still finding ways to get their education. For years, Bangladeshi schools have quietly admitted some of the Rohingyas who live as refugees in sprawling camps on the country's southern coast and whose numbers have swelled to more than 1 million since violence across the border in 2017. But the new influx has tested the hospitality of the Bangladeshi government, leading them to apply tighter controls on the population. At Nayapara camp, the expelled Rohingya students recently recounted how they felt after learning that they had to give up years of illicit study at the Bangladeshi schools.
Head sir, I big of Tena Punadia, Maniar. Jin ed a Kisukisu fine, Bodashil din, our Kisukisu gram from the Dahadi, Bodashildin.
I think as that hero that you know, the good money, somebody is away that is that money that is total or that money. মানে কি আন্তর্জাতিক হিসাবে মানে কি ততই প্রসার করি আর জাতিরা উন্নত করি বলে সাংবাদিক হইতেছে
Bangladesh has not yet recognized the vast majority of the Rohingyas as refugees and does not issue birth certificates to those born in the camps, making their legal status unclear. More than 730,000 Rohingyas fled Myanmar after a military crackdown in late 2017 that the United Nations has said was executed with genocidal intent. Myanmar has said it is ready to welcome back the Rohingya refugees, but northern Rakhine province from where they had fled is still reportedly wrangled by ethnic tensions and violence. A massive cleanliness drive has been launched by the authorities in India's Jammu and Kashmir province to clean the iconic Dal Lake before the start of the tourist season in the valley. For nearly a century, houseboats bobbing on the placid lake have drawn scores of visitors to the stunningly beautiful Kashmir valley.
Authorities in Srinagar, city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir, have launched a massive dredging and cleaning drive in the iconic Dal Lake to clean it before the ensuing tourist season in the valley. The drive is being undertaken by the Lakes and Waterways Development Authority to prevent the formation of weed and red bloom algae on the sides of the lake. The Dal Lake attracts tourists from all parts of the world who throng the city to enjoy rides in the famed houseboats of the lake.
किनारों पे डेप्थ आपको पता है बहुत कम है, 2-2.5 फीट है। इस डेप्थ को हम बढ़ाना चाहते हैं जिससे जो वीड है सर गर्मियों में या रेड ब्लूम आता है वो ना आए गर्मियों में। उसकी हम गर्मियों की तैयारी के लिए हम इसको ड्रेज आउट कर रहे हैं। कम से कम हम इसको 1 से 1.5 मीटर के बीच में हम ड्रेज आउट करेंगे इसको।
जो डाल है दिन ब दिन सुकड़ता ही जा रहा है, इसका डेप्थ कम हो रहा है, ये वेटलैंड में तब्दील हो रहा है। एक दिन लगता है ये कहानियों में रहेगा ये डाल। हम बच्चों को अपनी तरफ से कहेंगे कि भाई एक वक्त डाल था जो खूबसूरत था।
Studies have suggested a gradual decline in quality of the lake water for past few decades because of sewage drains and diffused runoff emptying in it. Along with this, the lake is also facing the natural pollution from eutrophication affecting its biodiversity.
A 3-day-long special prayer session was recently organized in India's northern hill town of Dharamshala to pray for the long life of exiled Tibetan spiritual leader, Dalai Lama. The 83-year-old Nobel Peace Laureate is known globally for spreading message of peace through his sermons and holding teaching sessions across the world.
A 3-day-long special prayer session was organized in India's northern hill town of Dharamshala to pray for the long life of exiled Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama. Scores of devotees hailing from across India and abroad gathered at the main Buddhist monastery in Dharamshala to take part in the special prayer session. Nobel Peace Laureate Dalai Lama is known globally for spreading message of peace through his sermons and holding teaching sessions across the world.
We're having a 3-day prayers for His Holiness long life, for his long life. So the people come over here, gather over here for the prayers.
India is home to almost 100,000 Tibetans. Dalai Lama has lived in India since fleeing a failed uprising against Chinese rule of his homeland in 1959. A government of exiled Tibetans and tens of thousands of refugees are also based in Dharamshala in India's northern Himachal Pradesh province.
The celebrations for the Festival of Colours, Holi, began on Tuesday in India's northern Uttar Pradesh province, with people taking out processions and holding special prayers to mark the festivities. Holi brings together people from all classes and age groups as they play with colours, distribute sweets and dance together to celebrate the festival.
A hammer was decked up as a groom and its wedding procession was taken out on Tuesday in India's northern Prayagraj city to mark the beginning of Holi, the festival of colours. A pumpkin full of colours was also smashed using the decorated hammer to declare the start of the festivities. The whole city was decked up with colourful lights and people were seen dancing to the beats of bands and enjoying the fireworks.
यहाँ से होली की शुरुआत होती है। सबसे पहले दारागंज से धकाधक कवि सम्मेलन शुरू होता है, मुगदर बारात शुरू होती है, वहाँ से सीधे चला आता है चौक में हथौड़ा बारात, सबको ठनठनाते भय मरमराते भय करते भय ये हथौड़ा बारात की शुरुआत होते भय होली का शुभारंभ हो जाता है। होली है।
Meanwhile, in Vrindavan town of India's northern Uttar Pradesh province, devotees were engrossed in the vibrant festivities at the famous Banke Bihari temple. The temple was packed with devotees smeared in holy colours, struggling to get a glimpse of idol of Hindu Lord Krishna. The Holi festival brings together people from all classes and age groups as they play with colours, distribute sweets and take out processions. Holi, or the Festival of Colours, falls on March 21st this year.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.